Hello, today I'm going to talk to you about phishing, what it is, why it happens, why it's dangerous, and how you can avoid becoming a victim. Phishing is a common ploy that is used by cyber criminals in their constant attempts to obtain data and money that they shouldn't have access to. Criminals try to trick you into giving out sensitive information or downloading viruses or other actions that can cause harm to you or your employer. According to IT security awareness company KnowBe4, more than 90% of data breaches are initiated by phishing attacks, and over 30% of phishing emails are opened. The FBI reported that internet crime went up 69% in 2020, and that one of the top three crimes reported by victims was phishing. Phishing is extremely prevalent and can be tricky not to fall for. In fact, I would say that anyone could be a victim of a phishing attack. That includes me, the security members of our IT team, and even the tech geniuses at Google. If you don't think you'd ever fall for a phishing attack, it means that you are ripe for the picking. So why is phishing a thing? Well, no one really knows. It's a mystery. Studies have been done, but they've all been inconclusive. Wait, no, that's not true. It's money. It's always money. Money is the primary motivation for most phishing attempts. Phishing is estimated to bring criminals a huge amount of money annually. According to a study done by Atlas VPN, the annual revenue of cybercrime is 3 times that of Walmart. Cybercriminals net $1.5 trillion annually. While phishing is no way directly responsible for the entirety of that 1.5 trillion, phishing is a valuable skill for all types of cybercriminals to know and use. I want to tell you some stories about the most successful phishing attacks. Facebook and Google. Between 2013 and 2015, Facebook and Google were tricked out of $100 million due to an extended phishing campaign. The phisher took advantage of the fact that both companies used Quanta, a Taiwan-based company, as a vendor. The attacker sent a series of fake invoices to the company that impersonated Quanta, which both Facebook and Google paid. Eventually, the scam was discovered, and Facebook and Google took action through the U.S. legal system. The attacker was arrested and extradited from Lithuania, and as a result of the legal proceedings, Facebook and Google were able to recover $49.7 million of the $100 million stolen from them. So a little under half of that money was recovered. Freeland Bank. Freeland Bank in Belgium was the victim of a business email compromise scam that cost the company approximately $75.8 million. This type of attack involves the phisher compromising the account of a high-level executive within a company and instructing their employees to transfer money to an account controlled by the attacker. The Freeland Bank phishing attack was discovered during an internal audit, and the organization was able to absorb the loss since it had sufficient internal reserves. FACC. FACC, an Australian manufacturer of aerospace parts, also lost a significant amount of money to a BEC scam. In 2016, the organization announced the attack and revealed that a phisher posing as the company's CEO instructed an employee in the accounting department to send $61 million to an attacker-controlled bank account. This case was unusual in that the organization chose to fire and take legal action against its CEO and CFO. The company saw $11 million in damages from the two executives due to their failure to properly implement security controls and internal supervision that could have prevented the attack. This lawsuit demonstrated the personal risk to organizations' executives for not performing due diligence with regard to cybersecurity. Continuing on with another example.
This is the true story of what happened to high-tech company Ubiquity Networks, located in San Jose, California. It shows how you can get hacked as an employee and the devastation it can cause. When cybercriminals strike, they can cause immense damage to your organization's bottom line. An employee in accounting at one of Ubiquity's subsidiaries fell victim to a phishing attack. The cybercriminals put malware on the employee's computer, which allowed them to monitor all of that person's email. The cybercriminals monitored the email for a few months and waited for the right moment to strike. When the moment arrived, They impersonated Ubiquity's CEO and instructed the employee to transfer $46.7 million to a bank controlled by criminals, and then quickly withdrew the money. Ubiquity tried very hard to get their money back, but was only able to recover $8.1 million. The rest of the money was lost.
We're going to watch another short video here that will help us minimize our chances for falling victim to phishing emails, and also tell us what to do when we receive phishing emails. One thing to note is this video talks about a report spam button that we don't have in Outlook. But when they discuss the little anchor spam button, you can just replace it in your mind with Outlook's junk button.
Potentially malicious emails may arrive in your inbox every day. If not handled quickly and properly, these emails could lead to consequences that are potentially very damaging for your organization. But don't worry. You can be a hero by taking the correct action and giving your IT department the ammunition they need to defend your organization against the effects of malicious email attacks. It's easy, thanks to the Phish Alert button. Let's take a look. Hi, my name is Sam Holmes. I'm your Security Awareness Mentor. You can just call me Sam. Today, I'll show how you can help to keep your organization safe from suspicious and malicious email attacks. That's right, you can help protect your organization with a little bit of know-how and the simple click of a button. As you know, a never-ending stream of email piles up in our inbox each day. And the problem is, any one of them could be potentially malicious. Your IT department has the busy job of analyzing these possible threats and taking action when needed. They want to be alerted about anything that comes into your email inbox that appears to be suspicious. But the question is, how can you tell? First, let's take a quick look at how to recognize emails that are simply annoying versus the ones that might truly cause harm. We'll start with spam. Spam is unsolicited, unwanted email that is typically sent for marketing purposes. It is often trying to sell you something, like unwanted goods or services. Is it annoying? Yes. But while spam is often misleading, it is rarely malicious. But then there's phishing. In short, phishing has criminal intent. Instead of trying to sell you something, phishing emails are trying to get you to do something that's against your best interests, or those of your organization. Phishing emails appear to be from a reputable source. In fact, they can even look like they are coming from someone within your own organization. But most of these malicious emails are asking you to take specific action that can cause damage to your organization. And finally, the most targeted type of malicious emails are spear phishing emails. Spear phishing is a focused email attack on a specific person or organization. Like regular phishing, these emails are designed to make you do something against your own best interests. But these attacks occur after detailed research has been done on the target, giving the emails a specific, personalized component that makes them seem especially real. Like phishing, spear phishing can lead to very damaging consequences for your organization. But don't worry. I'm going to tell you how you can be the hero. Ta-da! This is the Phish Alert button, or PAB for short. This button is all you need to report suspected phishing and spear phishing emails to your IT department. Yep, it's that easy. By using the PAB, you'll provide your IT department with the intel it requires to deal with malicious emails, and strengthen your organization's defenses at the same time. Now, you may be asking yourself, how do I know what to report? Here's where understanding the difference between annoying emails, or spam, and malicious emails or phishing gets really important. Imagine how many emails are flooding the inboxes of your entire organization on a daily basis. Your role, and that of your colleagues too, is to help your IT department focus its efforts on the ones that could lead to a potentially damaging outcome. That's why you should only report suspected phishing or spear phishing emails, not spam. Reporting spam to IT will waste their time and resources. As you prepare to start using the invaluable PAB I've shown you today, always pause and ask yourself, is this email trying to get me to take any action, like clicking on a link, opening an attachment, or revealing sensitive information about myself or my organization? If the answer is yes, report it with the PAB. If not, simply delete it. Just be sure that you never click on a link or open an attachment in any unexpected or unsolicited email. Now, I know that it's not always easy to make the determination as to whether a particular email is spam or phishing. So if you are uncertain, follow your organization's security policy or ask your IT team for advice.
So just an important emphasis here. Remember the difference between spam and phishing. Spam emails are annoying, but oftentimes not malicious. And then phishing emails are always going to be malicious. For spam, oftentimes there will be an unsubscribe link that you can click and then remove your email address from whoever is, sending those spam emails. For phishing, you don't want to click on anything. When in doubt, if you're not sure if it's spam or phishing, then just go ahead and use the junk option for the email, and that will ensure that it gets flagged for our IT team to check out. It's better to be overly cautious than not cautious enough. So here's an example of a spam email that I received to my personal email address. Notice that there are some ways that this email could come across as suspicious. For example, there are multiple links that are asking me to click them. Also, the email subject line is David, want 10% off of friend's purchase amount, which is an enticing line and is trying to get me excited to take an action, such as clicking the link. The fact that there's an overlap between a normal marketing email and phishing emails is what makes phishing emails tricky to deal with. However, this email is just spam. It's not phishing, just a marketing email from a company from which I purchased a water system from. One hint that this is just an annoying email and not a malicious email is that it makes sense to me to receive an email from RKIN because I know I have purchased a product from them and provided them with my email address. Now, I'm not saying that because an email appears to be from a business or entity from which you've interacted previously that it automatically is a safe email. Hackers can impersonate Amazon and Target and Costco easily. But if I had never interacted with RKIN, then I would be way more suspicious than I am because I expect to receive contact from RKIN. Notice that there is a link to unsubscribe from emails from RKIN within this email. If I'm certain it's a safe email, then I could click that unsubscribe link and hopefully not receive emails from them any longer. If I'm not certain, but I still want to unsubscribe, then I can go to Google and search unsubscribe from RKIN, find their official website that has that ability, and then unsubscribe from those emails that way. Some more information about how to avoid being caught by phishing emails. Phishing emails use common practices to try to get you to take certain actions, like downloading an attachment or clicking a link. Some of these common practices are to make the email scary, enticing, or confusing. As shown in this comment, one way to make an email scary is to mention that an account is suspended or will be suspended. Another method of making an email scary is to say that there has been suspicious charges to your bank account or to your Amazon account or the like. By making the email scary, it can make you take rash actions. You get so freaked out that you don't necessarily stop to think before taking action. Another way phishers try to get you to take action is by making the email exciting. Hey, the state of Michigan has found that you have $6,000 in unclaimed tax refunds. Click here to find out how to receive that money. Lastly, an email could be confusing. If you're not sure what the email is all about, there's a chance you might click a link or download an attachment just to figure out what's going on. Phishing emails have been around for a long time, but phishing text messages are newer and increasingly prevalent. These phishing texts will utilize many of the same methods as phishing emails, such as trying to scare you or excite you or confuse you. Phishing texts can be tough to distinguish because businesses are increasingly using our phone numbers to contact us for legitimate reasons, such as receiving updates on shipping or texts about promotions. And just like businesses will email us spam emails that are annoying but not harmful, so will businesses text us. So while it can be tricky to always know what is a legitimate message and what is malicious, just remember the three primary ways a phisher tries to trick you and how easily you can catch many phishing emails. Just stop for a minute and think, is this email trying to make me scared, excited, or confused? If so, there's a good chance it's a phishing email. Did I expect contact from this entity? If not, it's probably a phishing email. Am I being asked to click a link or download an attachment from an entity that I don't expect to be contacted by? If so, then it's probably a phishing email. While knowing the most common ways a phisher tries to hook you can help you catch on to many phishing email attempts, some phishers have changed and adapted their tactics. They know that many more people are receiving training on and becoming aware of these common phishing practices, so they've moved away from these practices and instead try to be more subtle and less obvious. As security knowledge and practices evolve to adapt to malicious actors, so too do the malicious actors evolve their methods. It's a constant struggle, and it means that to protect ourselves digitally, we must continue to stay up to date and keep learning. All right, let's put what we learned so far to the test. Here's an email that may or may not be an example of a phishing email. Go ahead and give it a look and see what seems suspicious to you. All right. So what's suspicious about this email? First, we see the domain, email domain is off. KVCC email addresses are at mail.kvcc.edu for students or just at kvcc.edu. The domain in this example is at emailadministrator.us. That's not a KVCC email address. So we immediately should be suspicious of this email. Next, a helpful tip to know is that you can hover your mouse over a link and see the link address. So you can check to see if the link is actually taking you where the email says it is. You still might want to be careful even if the link looks like it's taking you to the correct location, because a hacker might use a website address that looks like a real address but isn't. For example, when using a small font size, a lowercase r directly next to an N looks a lot like an M. So instead of going to Menards, you might be going to RNENARDS, which could be a spoofed website made to look like the real Menards, only instead of entering your credit card information to buy that shiny new sledgehammer, you've actually just given your card information to a hacker. Next, don't click on an attachment. Don't download an attachment. This could be a vector for bad software to reach your computer. And lastly, in this example, we see that the author tries to impart a sense of urgency upon the recipient. We think we have to take action. That means we have less time to slow down and think about what we're doing. Quick actions are often rash actions, and rash actions can cause problems. So what can we do to guard ourselves against falling victim to phishing attacks? I know we already talked about this, but it's important, so I'm going to reiterate. Stop, look, and think. Stop. Don't let them fool you into taking quick actions. They want you to act before thinking. Again, if you receive an email or text that is telling you you have to move quickly, that's an easy way to know that there's something fishy about that email. Next is look. Take the time to check for anything suspicious. As we saw in our example email, there might be strange links that don't take you to the websites they say they will, or prompts to download something. Next, does the email address look legit? However, remember that even if it does look legit, it could be spoofed. But if it's obviously not legit, then we know it's a phishing email. Does the message contain glaring misspellings, or is it addressed strangely? For example, is the salutation something like "Dearest user"? Because no real email address from your employer or a business is going to start out like that. Finally, think. Now that you've slowed down and are really looking at the message, take the time to think critically about it. Did you expect to receive an email from this person? Is there anything strange about the content? Is the email trying to scare you? Are you being asked to click a link? Think about the red flags, and if you find any, beware. If you're suspicious at all, use the junk button for Outlook. If you're not sure, you can email it@kvcc.edu and ask them, but do not forward the suspicious email to them or anyone else. You don't want to do that. That can pose a security risk. So you can email them and give them the information that's contained in the email address and ask their opinion, but do not forward the email actually to them. And lastly, I want to give you a super secret, surefire way to avoid falling for phishing emails at work. All right. hopefully this has given you a lot of information. I know it's scary, but if you're really careful and stay up to date on your knowledge, you can really minimize your risks and protect yourself from falling victim to any sort of digital scam.